Welcome to our channel Space Explorer 2024. RamZland's night sky wonder, the moon. Look up at the night sky, citizens of RamZland. What do you see? Stars, planets, and a bright, beautiful moon. The moon is Earth's closest neighbor in space. It's a big ball of rock, but it doesn't make its own light. We see the moon because it reflects light from the sun. Have you noticed that the moon looks different throughout the month? Sometimes it's a full circle. Other times it's a sliver, like a banana in the sky. These changing shapes are called lunar phases. The moon goes through a cycle of phases because of its orbit around Earth and the changing angles at which the sun illuminates it. Understanding these phases connects us to a dance of celestial objects billions of years old. So join me on a journey to explore the moon's phases. Let's unravel the mysteries of this familiar yet fascinating object in our night sky. The moon orbits or travels around Earth. It also spins on its axis, just like Earth does. However, the moon doesn't give off its own light. The light we see is actually sunlight bouncing off the moon's surface. As the moon orbits Earth, the angle at which the sunlight hits it changes from our perspective on Earth. This change in angle causes the different lunar phases we observe. Imagine the sun as a flashlight. When the flashlight shines directly on the moon, we see a full moon. When the flashlight shines on the side of the moon, we see a crescent moon. The moon's dance with the sun creates a beautiful and predictable pattern in the night sky. The moon's cycle of phases lasts about a month, a fascinating journey that has captivated humanity for millennia, or more accurately, 29.5 days. This cycle is known as a lunation, or a lunar month. During this time it goes through 8 distinct phases, each with its own unique characteristics and visual appeal. 1. New moon. The new moon is invisible to us. This phase marks the beginning of the lunar cycle. It's between the Earth and the sun, so the illuminated side faces away from us. This alignment causes the moon to be hidden from our view. 2. Waxing crescent. A tiny sliver of the moon becomes visible. This phase occurs as the moon starts to move away from the sun's glare. Waxing means it's getting bigger. The crescent grows larger each night, symbolizing growth and new beginnings. 3. First quarter. We see half of the moon illuminated. This phase is also known as the half moon. It looks like a half circle. The first quarter is a time of decision-making and taking action. 4. Waxing gibbous. The illuminated part of the moon continues to grow larger. This phase leads up to the full moon. 5. Full moon. The entire face of the moon is illuminated, it's round and bright. The full moon is often associated with completion and fulfillment. 6. Waning gibbous. The illuminated part starts to shrink. This phase follows the full moon and signifies a time of reflection. Waning means it's getting smaller. The moon's light diminishes each night, symbolizing a time to let go and release. 7. Third quarter. We see the other half of the moon illuminated. This phase is also known as the last quarter. It's another half circle but the opposite side from the first quarter. The third quarter is a time for introspection and reassessment. 8. Waning crescent. The illuminated sliver gets smaller and smaller until it disappears again. This phase marks the end of the lunar cycle, leading back to the new moon. The moon's phases are a beautiful reminder of the cyclical nature of time and the ever-changing universe. Each phase has its own significance and beauty, making the lunar cycle a captivating spectacle to observe. The moon's pull on Earth. The moon's gravity affects Earth in many ways. It's a fascinating interplay of celestial forces that has a profound impact on our planet. One of the most noticeable effects is the tides. These rhythmic movements of the ocean are a direct result of the gravitational forces exerted by the moon. Tides are the rise and fall of ocean levels caused by the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun. This gravitational dance creates a predictable pattern that has been observed and studied for centuries. The moon's gravity pulls the water on the side of Earth closest to it, creating a bulge. This bulge is what we experience as high tide. This bulge is high tide. The gravitational pull is so strong that it can lift vast amounts of water, creating noticeable changes in sea level. On the opposite side of Earth, the moon's gravity is weaker, but it still creates a smaller bulge, also resulting in high tide. This is due to the centrifugal force created by the Earth-Moon system. The areas between the two bulges experience low tide. These regions are where the water is pulled away, resulting in lower sea levels. The sun also affects tides, but its pull is weaker than the moon's because it's much farther away. Despite its distance, the sun's gravitational force still plays a significant role in the tidal patterns we observe. When the sun, earth, and moon are aligned, their combined gravity creates extra high tides called spring tides. These tides are especially strong and can lead to higher than normal water levels. When the sun and moon are at right angles to each other, their gravitational pulls partially cancel each other out, resulting in lower high tides called neap tides. These tides are less extreme and occur twice a month, providing a balance to the more dramatic spring tides. Fun facts about our lunar friend. The moon is a fascinating celestial body with many intriguing characteristics. It has been a source of wonder and inspiration for countless generations, influencing everything from ancient myths to modern science fiction. Here are some fun facts about our lunar neighbor. Did you know that the moon is the fifth largest moon in our solar system? Despite its size, it plays a crucial role in stabilizing Earth's axial tilt, which in turn affects our climate and seasons. The moon is about 238,900 miles, or 384,400 kilometers from Earth. This distance can vary slightly due to the elliptical shape of the moon's orbit. That's about 30 Earths lined up in a row. Imagine the vastness of space that separates us from our lunar companion. The first human to walk on the moon was Neil Armstrong in 1969, as part of the Apollo 11 mission. This monumental event marked a significant achievement in human history, and showcased the incredible potential of space exploration. The moon has no atmosphere to speak of, so there's no wind or weather on its surface. This means that the footprints left by the Apollo astronauts could remain there for millions of years, undisturbed by natural forces. The dark areas we see on the moon are called Maria, which is Latin for seas. Early astronomers once thought these were actual bodies of water. They are actually vast plains of solidified lava, formed by ancient volcanic activity. These Maria cover about 16% of the moon's surface. The moon is slowly moving away from Earth at a rate of about 1.5 inches, or 3.8 centimeters per year. This gradual drift is caused by tidal forces between the Earth and the moon. So the next time you gaze up at the night sky, take a moment to appreciate the wonders of the moon and its ever-changing phases. Each phase, from the new moon to the full moon, has its own unique beauty and significance. It's a celestial dance that has captivated humanity for millennia. The moon's influence on our planet and its presence in our night sky continues to inspire awe and curiosity.